Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today's quote is, wisdom comes after you lose everything. By the way, this is a quote from a movie called The Way of the Warrior, and it's a movie that I watched recently. It's a really good movie. I recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it yet. So let's break down this quote. Wisdom comes after you lose everything. What does that mean? Well, I think there are two ways to interpret this quote. First one is, when we lose everything, we gain wisdom. When we experience loss, when we go through tough times, when we face challenges in life, that's when we learn the most. That's when we gain wisdom. Because when you lose everything, you're forced to reevaluate your life, your choices, your decisions, and you learn from them. You become wiser because of them. For example, if you lose your job, you learn the importance of having a backup plan, having savings, not taking your job for granted. If you lose a loved one, you learn the importance of cherishing the time you have with them, not taking them for granted, and also the fragility of life. So the first interpretation of this quote is that wisdom comes from loss, from challenges, from tough times. The second interpretation of this quote is that sometimes we lose everything because we lack wisdom. We make decisions that lead us to losing everything. So the wisdom comes from not losing everything. For example, if someone is a gambler and they lose all their money, they lost everything because of their lack of wisdom, because gambling is a losing game in the long run. If someone makes bad investments because they trusted someone else or they didn't do their research, they lost everything because of their lack of financial wisdom. So the wisdom comes from not losing everything in this case. So how can we apply this quote to our lives? I think the best way to do it is to learn from the mistakes of others. We can't learn from our own mistakes because we don't lose everything in life. We have the luxury to keep going even if we make a mistake. But we can learn from the mistakes of others. For example, if we see someone who has lost everything because of gambling, because of drugs, because of alcohol, because of bad decisions, we can learn from their story and we can avoid those mistakes ourselves. So remember, brothers and sisters, wisdom comes after you lose everything. It comes from loss, but it also comes from learning from the mistakes of others. So be wise and avoid unnecessary losses in your life. Learn from your mistakes, but also from the mistakes of others. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. The only way to avoid losses in life is to not take any risks, is to not take any action, is to stay in our comfort zone. But that's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to go out there and take risks. We're meant to take action. We're meant to chase our dreams. But at the same time, we need to be wise about it. We need to be smart about it. We need to know the risks involved, and we need to know how to mitigate them. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. Please share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you in the next video.